guys, it's Kels back at it again with another Friday Night Live. You guys know that each and every Friday night we go live just to decompress from the week, reconnect with the collective and talk about, what was happening, what's been happening during the week. And this week seems like there was a lot been happening. So I'm glad to be here with you guys. I see a couple of you guys are already in here in the building, supporting the thing, showing up for the doll. I so appreciate you guys so much. Let me change. Let me alter the look right quick. Let me make sure the look is looking. You know what I mean? Let me make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do, giving what it's supposed to give. All right. So I changed my setup a little bit today. So forgive me if I'm looking like I'm looking all different places. I usually look on this side for the camera, but today I'm gonna look over here because I just wanna see if there's a different look that can give, yeah? Yeah. So I appreciate you guys already in the building. Tonight might be a little bit of a shorter kickback, but nonetheless, we are here. We're in the building as promised, showing our face, reconnecting with the collective, and yeah, just shooting the shit. There are so many things that have happened this week. Like we have our topic. You guys can't even probably tell what we're going to be talking about tonight with the subject line. But I just felt like the unbothered title was so necessary this week because it's just been so much happening, so much going on that I just have to remind myself and remind y'all that we have to remain unbothered sometimes. Sometimes there's a lot of drama going on, but at the end of the day, we still need to maintain our cool, calm, and collectedness. So we need to know how to remain unbothered in the midst of all of the drama that has been happening this week. And I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about in terms of all of this drama. So first things first, second things second, let me know if you guys are hearing me, are seeing me, are we coming in crystal clear? You know what I mean? Before we get into the things, want to make sure you guys can hear what's going on. Let me check my feed on this side and make sure we are coming in clear. Yeah, that's the first thing. How are you guys doing? I see you guys in the comments already. I see you guys in the building already. You know the deal. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Announce yourselves in the comments. Drop your flag if you're an international viewer. If you're part of Replay Gang, drop this in the comments. Gang, gang, because you know Replay Gang is strong over here in the collective. Or if you're catching us live, let me know where you are watching from and what you are sipping on. Yeah? So today I am sipping on a little cocktail that I made. You can already tell I took a couple sips. You can see lips already on there. But yeah, I am sipping on a little brown today. Wetting the whistle, making sure that throat chakra is lubricated. Yeah, and so what are we cheersing to? So we said we were gonna start off our Friday night kickbacks with a little cheers. So let's cheers to something specific tonight as well. We did it last week and I really like that. But before we do that, let me make sure that the feed is coming in clear. I wanna make sure that our feed is coming in crystal clear. It's taking a little time to load tonight. What is going on? I feel like a lot of people are probably online tonight. I think that's probably what's happening. What's going on? Let us see our feed. Are you guys in the building? Let me know if we're coming in clear. Are we coming in clear tonight? Are you seeing us? Oof, my internet on this side is acting a fool. Let me check on my phone here if I can see. Oh, yeah. Oof, my internet on this side. Okay, yes. Okay, so I think we are coming in crystal clear. I appreciate you guys being here for another Friday night kickback. So, all right. So let's cheers. Let's cheers to something specific tonight. Last week we cheers to last week we cheers to like being unbothered, prosperity, health, and all of that. And of course, we want to bring all of that into our live tonight. But tonight we also want to cheers to being unbothered, not letting anything get under our skin, no matter what people throw at us, family, friends, work, the government, fate, destiny, anything that comes our way, we still can remain unbothered and see the silver lining in it. So let's cheers to that tonight. In honor of the title of this video, in honor of the energy of tonight's Friday night kickback, let's cheers to being and staying and remaining unbothered. Clink, 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 clink. Cheers. Unbothered. Okay. So let me make sure, I told you guys my setup is a little bit different tonight, so I'm looking all over the place, but I want to make sure I am looking in the right place and that things are looking good. My eyes are a little bit red tonight. Honestly, I'm a little bit tired, but we're going to make it do what it do. We're going to make it do what it do, baby. All right. So first things first, that was first things first, our cheers for tonight. Second, let's look at the options that you guys voted on of what we're going to talk about tonight. Now, the title is a little bit like ambiguous. It's a little bit nebulous, unbothered, but you'll understand a little bit more about the angle that we're taking tonight on our Friday Night Kickback based on what you guys voted on. So you guys know that on Thursday nights, I do a topic drop where I drop 4 options of what we've about to talk about tonight. And you guys get the final say. You get to choose, vote on the 4 options, whether it be on my IG, whether it be here on YouTube, community channel, or whether it be on Facebook. You let me know what we're going to talk about, and then we get into the things, all right? So let's go over the 4 topics that we dropped on Thursday night, and then I'll let you guys know how you guys voted, and then we'll get into the main topic, and I'll explain why Unbothered was the perfect title for tonight's live. All right, so here we go. Okay, let me turn the volume down. All right, so, okay. So on my Instagram, the 4 topics. So the first topic tonight was being practical gets you nowhere. Go big. Ooh, let me see. Nope, I think the lip gloss is looking good. The first topic was being practical gets you nowhere. So go big instead. So basically that came about because it was like, I saw something come through my feed talking about, you know, you really have to be able to take risks in life. You really have to be comfortable taking risks and doing things like that. Otherwise, you will not end up going anywhere that's desirable for you. You will just be like status quo, doing the same old, same old. So it requires you to be like a risk taker. And so that's kind of what I was going with on that topic. On Instagram, you guys voted for that 0%. 0%. Not sure. Y'all wasn't really understanding that one or feeling that one or wanted to talk about that one this week. So that got 0% on Instagram. The second option was scared, but how to do it anyway. So you guys, you know, we're always hearing this information about, you know, you got to be scared and do it anyway. You got to go after this and do it anyway. And you know what I mean? And not letting fear stop you and things like that. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. Like, what does that, you know, unpack that a little bit. What does that mean? What does it mean to be scared and do it anyway? And how do you know if your fear is like your intuition telling you, no, it's not a good idea? Or if it's just your anxiety trying to derail you or your procrastination trying to derail you. How do you decipher what's speaking to you in that instance when they're saying, feel the fear and do it anyway? And so on that one, you guys voted for that one 17% on Instagram, okay? And then the third option we had was they use shame and guilt to control women. Why? Why do they use shame and guilt to control women? That came in on Instagram at 50% of the vote. So that was by far the #1 vote on Instagram. You guys really wanted to talk about that one. And we'll get into it because that ultimately is the topic we're talking about tonight. And then the fourth option was, truth is, I'm the provider protector, not him. So if you were here last week, you know I did a topic option similar to that, and that came in as you guys' second last week. So I brought it forward to this week just to see if you guys would pick up on it again. But I reworded the thing. But essentially, it's a play on this idea that men are designed to be, ideal men are designed to be provider protectors in their role in the family and the relationship, and that, you know, that seems to be like a huge thing that people talk about as it relates to high value men and all of this, you know, mumbo jumbo that people be talking about. But I feel like in a lot of women's realities, that's not the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is that they're mainly the head of the household. They're mainly the provider and protector for their family, even if there is a man around. So I just wanted to discuss why we have that ideology for men, and is it too much pressure for them, and it's not really realistic in most of our lives. Kind of wanted to talk about that one. But you guys picked that at 33%. 33% this week. So the number one by far on Instagram was they use shame and guilt to control women. Why? And you might guess that I picked that topic for this week just because of the issues with the abortion legislation and the pro-life, pro-choice, topics that have been coming on this whole week. And so I just wanted to point out some of the things that society typically uses to try to control and manipulate, and especially the women. And I thought that was a timely topic, and it seems like you guys felt the same way because that came in at 50% of the vote. 50% of the vote, yeah? So let me know in the comments, guys, whether you're catching us live or whether you're catching us on replay. Gang, let me know your thoughts on those topic options and what you feel, and we'll get into the things, yeah? So that was the vote. That was a rundown of how you guys voted on Instagram, okay? So let's hop on over to what is going on? Let's hop on over to YouTube. I'm getting random texts in the middle of my live. All right, so let's hop on over to YouTube and look at how you guys voted over on YouTube. Okay, so on YouTube, on the community tab, that's how you get to vote on our Friday Night Lives, our Friday Night Live Kickback topics. Tonight, you guys voted on, I feel like there's a lot of shadows going on. I hope that, let me see if I can get, I want to make sure that I can see you guys properly on the feed before I go any further. Let me take a little sippy sip of my drink, wet the whistle a little bit, and see what's going on. I feel like there's so many people on live because of the different situations that have been happening this week, the breaking news. I feel like YouTube is real slow today, just because so many people are going live. So many people are talking about a whole bunch of different topics. Cheers, clink, 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 clink. All right. So over on, let me turn this up a little bit. Over on YouTube, let's do the topic rundown and we'll do the percentages, and I'll let you guys know how you guys voted over on YouTube. So on YouTube, same thing, topic drop Thursday nights for you guys to vote on the 4 topics, and then you guys select the number 1 that we talk about on our Friday Night Kickback, 7 p.m. each and every Friday. This is week 19, by the way. Week 19, consistently going live on Friday nights, reconnecting with the collective and just like decompressing from the week. So I appreciate y'all joining me so much on Friday nights. And yeah, we're gonna make it do what it do all the way through the summer and see, how it goes. Smash that like button, just comment, subscribe to the channel, put the notifications on. All of those things are free and easy ways to support the channel, to support the content. And I appreciate you guys so much engaging with me. All right, so back to the topic. So on YouTube, okay, the community tab, let me give you guys the numbers. Being practical gets you nowhere, go big or go home. That came in at 11% of the vote. Scared, but how to do it anyway. That came in at 33% of the vote. They use shame and guilt to control women. Why? That came in at 44% of the vote. And by far, that's the number 1. And then the 4th option was, truth is, I'm the provider protector, not him. And that came in at 11% of the vote. So you guys definitely had consistency between what you guys wanted to talk about on YouTube versus what you guys wanted to talk about or what you selected to talk about on Instagram. So that's week number 2. That's the 2nd week in a row that you guys have agreed, both audiences, the audience on Instagram and the audience on YouTube. That's the 2nd week that you guys have both agreed on what you wanted to talk about. So I appreciate that, because that means that I don't have to make fully the executive decision on what we talk about, because sometimes if the vote is split across the 2 audiences, I'll have to make the executive decision. And I'm kind of bossy, so I have no problem with that. But I like it when you guys are like consistent, because that way I know we're talking about what y'all really want to get into. All right. Good evening. We have Lene in the building. Thanks for joining us, cuz. So tonight everybody voted on they use shame and guilt to control women. Why? And you guys know, Friday nights, let me turn this up. Let me make sure this is looking good. Okay, there we go. On Friday nights, you guys know that I always want to do like kind of chill topics and things like that. But sometimes y'all really be wanting to do, y'all really be wanting to make this cut like this. Y'all really be wanting to do the topics that are, here you go. Y'all really be wanting to do the topics that be really like require a lot of brain power. And that's okay, because you know I'm here for it. We could bring some levity to the thing. We can discuss some serious topics here and bring some levity to the thing. I want to make sure my lip gloss is, I feel like my lip gloss is you know when your lip gloss gets weird. Anyway, so all right, so you guys want to talk about how they use shame and guilt to control women. So as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, that comes from the whole abortion issue. And you know, I really feel like your stance on that is your own personal opinion, right? I don't believe that you should impose your personal opinions on other people, but I do feel like you can share it and talk about it like at your kitchen table. I don't feel like it's something that needs to be all the time broadcast across, you know, the whole world, because it really is on a case-by-case basis, and you never know when the shoe is going to be on the other foot for you. So you might think you know everything about everything, and you know you have this firm pro-life, or you have this firm pro-choice, or whatever your decision is, or you don't care about the situation until your path crosses there, and then you realize that you have to make a real adult decision. And you know how we feel about adulting, and so you have to make a real adult decision, and it ends up being different than what you thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? Because this life comes at you fast, okay? Life comes at you real fast. And so sometimes you have to be a little bit mum and hush about these big issues, because you never know when you're going to be in that situation. You know what I mean? And so just keep that in mind. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing that I'm going to say about that. Okay, so getting into it. So the topic is, the subject line is unbothered, because I really wanted to talk about this in terms of how do you remain unbothered when you can tell that situations are designed to make you, to control you, to shame you, to guilt you. How do you remain unbothered when you know that the situation is, when you know it's a whole setup? When you know they just trying to get your emotions involved, when you know they just trying to, you know, get you all agitated. How do you remain unbothered when you know that a situation is used to trip you up? How do you outwit the devil? How do you outwit the devil? That book, that title, that subject line, How to Outwit the Devil, that is a book by Napoleon Hill. And that was a book that was actually written in like 1938, but was only published in 2011 because it was very controversial at the time. Thank you, Erica. Increase your self-awareness. That book was very controversial. You know, How to Outwit the Devil was very controversial at its time, but like 70 years after the man's death, his family had it published. And there's some gems in there. And I'm going to be referencing some of those gems in that book in this conversation about how do you remain unbothered when you know situations are designed to guilt you into something, to threaten you into something, to shame you into something, to take away your rights, to make you feel less than, you know what I mean, to put you in a survival mode and fear-based mode, to put you into fight or flight. How do you remain unbothered? How do you brush your shoulders off? How do you not let them rail you up? And so I feel like we can talk a little bit about that tonight, instead of going into an angry stance. We're gonna outwit the devil. We gonna play the devil at his own game. We gonna let him know that we know more than what he think he know. We not this 96% that he got control over. You know what I mean? Like we know what we doing over here. So let's talk a little bit about it. Let's talk a little bit about mindset. Let's talk a little bit about like situations, what it looks like, and like throw some options out there on how we can look at a situation a little bit differently. How can we look at situations a little bit differently that make the situation serve us better than just getting all in our emotions immediately and feeling like, oh my God, we're trapped by whatever the government has imposed on us, or whatever our husband or wife has imposed on us, or whatever our job or our community or our family or our culture has imposed on us. How do we skirt that? How do we skirt around that? You ain't gonna control me through no shame and no guilt or no fear. How do we control that? Let's talk about it. Cheers, clink, clink, clink. What y'all sipping on? Anybody sipping on anything good? I'm sipping on a little bourbon and some sweet tea. I'm real Southern. I'm real Southern today, guys. We drinking on a little bourbon, a little sweet tea. I got my lip gloss on both sides of the doggone cup. Look at that. There go there, there go there. Anyway, so. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about in terms of how we're going to outwit them, how we about to outwit the devil. Again, that's the name of a book by Napoleon Hill. He's also the author of Think and Grow Rich. So it's really just about, as Erica said, self-awareness, what you're paying attention to, your mindset in these situations, and how you know forces are used to control and manipulate you, how aware you are of that's what's happening, so that you can respond accurately and not respond just like out of impulse, you know, and then you respond in a way that doesn't really serve you. Okay. So the first thing I have to just remind y'all, and I do have my notes. I wrote some notes because I was like, we're going to talk about this tonight. So, okay, so the first thing I have on my notes is the illusion of control. Illusion of control, okay? And just as a reminder, the topic is how they use shame and guilt to control women. Why? Why? How do we remain unbothered in those situations? So the illusion of control, a lot of times when you see governments, when you see institutions, when you see even, trends in pop culture come out, it's really a way, it's an illusion of control. So it's something outside of you that looks like it has more control over your life than it actually does. It seems like you're forced into some trend. Right now, what you see a lot of is, even in pop culture, what you see a lot of is surgeries. Everybody got a Brazilian butt lift. Everybody got breasts. Everybody got liposuction. Everybody got this. Everybody got that. And so it feels like you feel drawn. You feel pulled. You feel like, oh my God, there's a control over me to push me in a certain direction, right? Because it makes, why? Because you start hating yourself. Your body don't look good. You think they look better. You're left behind. You're aging. All of these fear-based things used to control you. It's an illusion, the illusion of control. That's in popular culture. We also seeing it now with the whole abortion issue. Oh, okay, well, you have no autonomy over your own body. We're going to make the decisions. Government is going to make the decisions for what you can do with your own body and what your own family planning. Illusion of control. So it seems like they have a lot of control over, what you're doing and the decisions that you make. But the first thing that you have to kind of recognize and acknowledge is that it's an illusion. They actually do not have control over you, and you still have deciding factors, and you still can make the decision, and you still cannot let it govern an external factor, an external government, an external trend govern how you conduct your life. It's an illusion of control. And it's only if you allow them or you buy into what they're trying to perpetrate against you that it controls you. So just recognize illusion of control. Look at them trying to control again. You don't control me. You don't control my thoughts. You don't control my habits. You don't control my options. It looks like you do, but there is always a way around somebody who's trying to externally impose control on you, no matter how they do it, whether it be physically or mentally. You know what I mean? And a lot of instances, they do it mentally. So it looks like you have no control, and then you end up buying into it. You feel like you don't have control over your life, but it's an illusion. So I feel like that's the first thing that you kind of have to recognize is like, okay, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And just because you think you can't stop my bag, you hear that term a lot. A person can't stop your bag. Is more than one way to skin a cat. It's just an illusion of control. So recognize that. That's the first thing that I think, we could talk about. You know what I mean? Guys, my feed is not pulling up on my laptop, so I can't really see your comments right now. And I'm just wondering what is going on. Is it my Wi-Fi? Let me see. Let me see if I can make the Wi-Fi work. It say you not connected to the internet. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me make a hotspot right quick and make sure I can see our comments, because I see you guys chiming in, and I definitely want to make sure that the collective gets their say, because we learn from the collective wisdom of the KELLS community around here. You know what I mean? Oh, look, there it goes. Okay, so let me see. I can see the feed here, and Let me make sure. Yeah, I had to do a hotspot. There's something going on with my internet right now. Okay. So, all right. So I was seeing Erica chiming in, and yes, triggering emotions, definitely. Triggering emotions is one of the first things. So the illusion of control, that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. Okay, the second thing, and Erica, that pivots right into what we were talking about, which is emotional control. So that's the second thing that they do, right? So, they seek to control you by eliciting your emotions, by ratcheting up your emotions. And when your emotions get ratcheted up and out of whack, it clouds your judgment. So you have to know that, oh, you know what? I'm not going to let whatever they're trying to do make me get out of character, make me lose control of my emotions. Let me get so much in anger or so much in fear or so much in anxiety or whatever high emotions. Let me reserve. Let me be a little bit stoic. Let me be have a little stoicism or control over my emotions so that I can think clearly. A lot of this stuff, and I'm gonna say this is a big issue in the Black community. We have high emotions, and sometimes we've not practiced to not let your emotions run away with you. You have to know that, a lot of this stuff, pop culture, politics, all of that, it's all based on how they can ratchet up your emotions and let you get out of character and let you fall into groupthink, which is thinking like the rest of the people instead of you being able to keep your emotions calm, think clearly, and think for yourself as an individual. Right? So second thing, illusion of control, that's the first thing. Second thing is keep your emotions evenly keeled. Even if that means turning off the television, turning off the radio, turning off whatever media channels are coming directly at you that you could feel are ratcheting up your emotions, turn them off until you feel like you have control and you can keep your emotions cool, calm, and collected so that you can think clearly and make your decision. Because they are not in control, you are in control, and how you remain in control is your decision making. So if they, give you an illusion of they have control, they get you out all over your emotions, then they do have control. So what you have to understand is like, all right, I am always in control of this situation, no matter of what the external situations look like, no matter of what they're trying to perpetrate against me. So let me hold my emotions cool, calm, and collected so I can actually think in a grounded, logical way and not just be reacting fight or flight or, getting angry or getting outside of my logic. Keep your emotions in check. You cool. As long as you have your decision-making ability, you are in control. Right? So tonight we're talking about how they use shame, fear, guilt, all of these things to control women. And quiet as is kept, they use the same logic to control men, to control all kinds of situations. So these tips, what we're talking about tonight, is going to help anybody, he, she, or in between, or neither, in any situation, to remain yourself in control and not be manipulated by shame and guilt and fear and all the other tactics that are used to try to control and manipulate us, right? Okay, so illusion of control. They are not in control. I am in control of the situation. My emotions are cool, calm, and collected so that I can think clearly and make my decisions clearly, even if that means I have to remove myself from the situation, turn off the media channels, take a chill pill from social media, walk away from this discussion. However you need to get your emotions back to centered, back to grounding is what you do first and foremost. My emotional center and my emotional grounding is my power and my control. And there is nothing that you can do that is going to let you strip me of my control of myself, my situation, my circumstance. All right. We Outwitting the Devil tonight. Y'all know that book by Napoleon Hill? We Outwitting the Devil. Cheers. I see y'all chiming in the comments. I see Erica Williams in the building. Thank you so much, girl, for being here. Correct me if I'm not using the right pronouns for you, sis. Let me know, and we'll talk about it. What's she saying in the comments? All right. Decrease social media and increase self-awareness is what I've been working on the past few months. You have to be very aware of social media's role in your life and how it makes you feel, and when to take a break, when to lean in, when to lean back. Self-awareness is key. And how you feel tells you what should govern your steps and your actions. So true. I agree with you, sis, right there. Okay. She says, I was just trapped in that situation and lost my job even after knowing what they were doing. Right. So you knew what they were doing. If you knew that it was trying to move, sometimes you have to follow your intuition. I have a big video on the channel talking about listen to your intuition. Your intuition is your superpower. So if you knew what they was trying to do, then you move ahead of them. This is chess, not checkers. You know what I mean? And then even if you misstep and they fire you, just know, hold your emotions. Be clear. They are not in control. You are always in control of your situation. You are always in control of your situation. And you don't have to let shame, guilt, fear, any of those things derail you. You know what I mean? So, all right. So that's the thing there, right? Illusion of control, illusion of control. Hold your own emotional control so that your judgment, your logic is not clouded, so you can make your next decision, because that is how you maintain your control of the situation. Don't let them pull you into fight or flight reactions. So you guys probably have heard that before, right? So you know, like human gut instinct reactions when you get into dire situations is the adrenaline and the different, what is it? Adrenaline is like a what? Like a what is that thing? Like the thing in your body, like what do you call that? The thing like adrenaline. I don't know how they call it. Like the thing that pumps into your body. Hormones, maybe? I think it might be hormones. Like the pituitary gland excretes like hormones or whatever. I know y'all took anatomy, acting all like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Those types of things, especially when you get in like stressful situations where you feel like shame, guilt, control, fear, your body excretes certain, hormones, and they make you do these instinctual reactions. And so that's how, like fight or flight. So when you get in a situation, somebody pull a gun on you, you know what I mean? Somebody, somebody run up on you. You know what I mean? You get unexpectedly fired from your job. The government tries to impose abortion legislation on you and you ain't trying to keep the baby. You know what I mean? Or, those types of things. Your body can immediately go into it. That's a stressor to your body, right? And so your body can immediately go into this kind of fight or flight response. So being aware of that, you know what I mean? Being aware of that and knowing that, okay, that is, showing yourself grace. That is a natural human instinct. To immediately be scared about something where you feel like you're losing control, it's okay to feel that. You don't have to beat up on yourself for like initially feeling that. But what I'm saying is that try to recognize it and then get back in control. You driving and your car starts fishtailing. You driving on that ice in Detroit, you driving on that ice in Michigan, or it's raining down in Florida, like raining, that hurricane type rain, and your car starts fishtailing. And what you do is you try to regain control. You don't necessarily beat up on yourself for the car fishtailing. What you do is you acknowledge that it's fishtailing, and then you try to regain control. Say Chicago, wind might have got under your wheel and whipped you off the road. I don't know what happens in Chicago. That ice and that sleet, that black ice might have got you in Chicago. You know what I mean? And you start to lose control. But what I'm saying is don't beat up on yourself for losing the control or your gut reaction, your instinctual fight or flight reaction. Just acknowledge it and recognize it, and then regain control. Regain control. You know what I mean? Get still, get quiet and regain control. Get your emotions in the game, get your head in the game, get focused, kind of figure out what to do to like save your own life, basically. To save your own life, basically, all right? So that fight or flight response, I feel like, is a natural part of being human, you know what I mean? And so you don't have to beat up on yourself for initially getting pissed at this whole legislation, aimed at like trying to shame and fear and guilt and control women or whoever it is coming, however it's coming at you. But you know what I mean? Just know that you have options, that can help you get your head back in the game. Okay? Woo, all right. I see y'all in the comments. What's Lene saying? Your adrenaline kicks in Yes, adrenaline, exactly. She said, Erica said, I felt like I was losing control and had to get it back. Exactly. So how do you do that? Emotional control, emotional clarity. Get still, get quiet. Push back out of the social media channels or push back out of the stressors and get still to yourself. A lot of times it's a lot of self-care that you have to do, because what you have to do is take your attention from focusing outward on what you think is controlling and turn your attention inward on what is truly controlling you, and then re-get it to the place that is better serving you, that feels better to you, that you feel more control. So that means taking a break, being quiet for a few days or one day. If that means going for a walk, if that means taking a breather, if that means taking 3 deep breaths, whatever you need to do to get your focus back on yourself, back on your emotional stability, back on your clarity, is how you regain your control in any of these situations. From the political, propaganda, from the, public figures dying, from Twitter cancel and Black Twitter going ham on some topic, from them firing you from some job. This is how you remain unbothered, recognizing that your control is within your control. It is not no external factor that's controlling you, even if they try to perpetrate like it does, because it is an illusion. All right. So yeah, we have options. We always have options. We always have options. I feel you, Erica. I lost it because I didn't know any other way. You may not have known any other way at that moment in the fight or flight response, but your mind and your subconscious and your conscious always knows another way. What you have to do is get quiet, get silence, let go of what you think is controlling you externally, and recognize that it's not anything outside of you. It's always within you. And getting quiet, regaining that stoicism and that groundedness will help you be able to internally hear and know what your next step is, because you are always in control. And as you said, always options, never optionless. Okay. Sometimes your abundance, sometimes your wealth comes in options. Sometimes your abundance, sometimes your wealth comes in ideas. Sometimes your abundance and your wealth comes in peace of mind. Sometimes your abundance and wealth comes in emotional control. Sometimes your abundance and your wealth comes in self-care and self-love. You know what I mean? That abundance and wealth, we talk a lot about that. It's not only money and paper money and fiat currency. Sometimes it's in understanding yourself, your self-awareness, your self-mastery. That's what we talking about tonight. What y'all talking about? Cheers. Clink, 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 clink. It's the bourbon and the sweet tea for me. I'm a real Southern girl. I'm a Southern belle now, y'all. Atlanta turned me into a Southern belle. I'm drinking bourbon and sweet tea. Dropping gems on your head top. You know what I mean? God did. Y'all know DJ Khaled is crazy. I love how DJ Khaled be like, God did. They ain't believe in us. They ain't know we was finna drop gems tonight, but God did. I love DJ Khaled. God, y'all, I need to get my hair done. The way these edges is set up, the way these edges is frizzing up in this Atlanta humidity, child, y'all gonna have to forgive me. Anyway, so that's what we talking about. We dropping gems on your head top tonight, okay? Come through Atlanta, ATL. You know I'm still a Miami girl. Y'all know I'm still a Miami girl, but we in ATL, and ATL is making it do what it do, all right? And another one, what is it? Yeah, DJ Khaled be like, and another one, we the best, all that. I love DJ Khaled. He is a character, and he has been on the scene in Miami for eons. As a matter of fact, when I was working in marketing, I wrote a radio ad, and DJ Khaled voiced it for me on 99 Jams in Miami. So DJ Khaled is home team as far as I'm concerned. All right. So God did. All right. So stabilizing your emotions so you could think clearly, so you can regain your control. And I have a problem with the term regaining control, because you're not regaining any control. You never lost it. What you're regaining is your clarity and your understanding and your awareness that you in control. okay? No matter what they're trying to perpetrate against you, no matter what they push on TV, no matter what movies they put out there, no matter what political laws they try to put to impose on you, you are regaining the clarity that you are in control. Okay? All right. So, all right. So, okay. So then we're talking about, okay, so you regain your emotional control. You're thinking clearly. That harmony. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to create harmony. Ultimately, what you're trying to do is you're trying to regain and create harmony for yourself so that you can make the next decision, so that you can make the best decision. What harmony are we creating? You're trying to regain harmony and clarity. So harmony and clarity are kind of, I'm making them seem like they're similar, right? So you're trying to regain harmony and clarity from your mind, your thinking, and your heart, what you know to be true, the next direction, the next step, your intuition, right? So those types of things of how you feel, that's like residing in your body and your heart, and what you know and what you think, that's more residing in your head. So when you're calming your emotions and equalizing everything, you're creating harmony between what your head intends and what your heart desires. You're trying to create harmony in what your head and your mind intends and what your heart desires. I want y'all to clearly know that those emotions and things, they reside in different places. And I think a lot of times I remember when I was younger, I would notice that a lot of like family members, they could only feel a few emotions, or they would only express a few emotions. This is a side note. I would notice that a lot of family friends, they would only express a few emotions. Happy, barely even happy. It would be like stressed, mad, tired, then sometimes happy. You know, that would be it. But there's so many more things that you experience, like this human experience, right? That you have to be, you start to, like for me, I was like, oh, you could, you know, there's so many of them, and then you can decipher where they reside in your body and how to control them, how to govern them, how to use them, how do they work in the real world. That, you know, this is like deep things, right? And so that harmony, going back to the topic, right? That harmony that you're trying to create, that helps you regain your control, regain your clarity, know what to do next. You're creating the harmony between what your mind intends and what your heart desires. That is how you stay in control in any circumstance, in any situation, no matter what legislation they try to put out against you. No matter what they're trying to do, no matter what bag they're trying to stop. You always have options, but you're getting to that harmony, that clarity place of it between your mind and your head. Okay? So that's one thing I want y'all to think about when you get in those situations. Like, wait a minute, let me regain my harmony. Let me regain my harmony. Let me take 3 breaths so I can regain my harmony. Let me go ahead and walk around this block before I lose my harmony. Let me chill. You know what I mean? Let me build the man, let me build so I can regain my harmony. You know what I mean? So that's what you're trying to do. Ultimately, you might not have recognized that's what you're trying to do, but that's why I'm gonna just let you know that's what you're trying to do. Okay? So your harmony, in your clarity, that's where your power resides. That's where your power, your ultimate power. Now your power, you know, small bits and pieces, you know, you could do brute force power. You know, you could use anger to be, you know, be powerful. You could use manipulation to be powerful. You can use all these things. But for me, the most powerful thing is your intention and your desire in alignment. And that is going to propel you forward. That is a powerful, you know, deciding factor in the controlling of things. You know what I mean? So yeah, harmony. Okay. And then that's where your power resides. All right. So that's what I'm thinking there. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So in this harmony, calm, you know, you guys know that I like to say your intuition is your superpower. You know what I mean? Red Bouquet Ada, what's good? Thank you for being here, girly. Y'all let me know if I'm using the right pronouns for you. If you want to be referred to as he, she, they, neither, both, let me know. Okay? And so calm. So you guys know that I like to talk about like your intuition being your superpower, but also I feel like your ability to remain calm, to remain cool, remain collected in any situation is also a superpower. You know what I mean? That also makes you, when I say superpower, it's like makes you powerful, makes you in control, makes you the driving force in your life. Regardless of if them people, regardless of if the Supreme Court trying to impose something on you, on your uterus, okay? You know, we got options. We always have options, you know, as Erica said, you know what I mean? So let me take a sip. I see you guys in the building. I appreciate you so much. Smash, smash, smash that like button. You guys know we go live each and every Friday night. I promised you that I was going to show my face. So here I go, here I go, here I go. Thursday nights, we drop 4 topic options on my Instagram and here on YouTube. You guys vote for 24 hours. And then at 7 p.m. on Friday nights, we go live to talk the things to make it do what it do, to decompress from the week. And all the code switching these people make us do at their jobs all week. Learning from the collective wisdom of the It's KELLS community. If you are catching us live, I so appreciate you. Smash, smash, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And that red subscribed button is gray. And if you are part of the replay gang, drop this emoji in the chat so I know you caught us on a replay. Replay gang is strong over here. Replay gang is real strong over here, so I appreciate you guys catching us, whether you catch us live or whether you catch us on a replay. I see you guys chiming in on the comments. I appreciate the vocalness this week. You see the subject line just say unbothered. The subject line just say unbothered, but what we're really talking about is how they use fear, guilt, shame, all the tactics under the sun to try to control. We're talking about women tonight. But quiet as it's kept, they use them same tactics to try to control men as well. You know what I mean? Just this week, they trying to do it on against our uterus. You know what I mean? But, you know, we talking about how to outwit the devil here. We're talking about that Napoleon Hill book on how we outwit tactics used to control us. How do we outwit that? How do we get around this illusion of control they're trying to perpetrate against us? That's what we're talking about tonight. What y'all talking about in the comments? What is y'all talking about in the comments? Let's look. Okay. God did. I love DJ Khaled. Anyway. Erica saying, growing up seeing abuse within my family, masking emotions were huge. How many of us grew up with trauma? How many of us grew up with baby boomer parents who were very strong and resilient, but would just go through life carrying so much trauma and depression and anxiety and abuse like it was all good? And you come into the family like a kid looking around like, what the heck is happening in this family? Thinking that you're weird. You know what I mean? Thinking because you feel a different array of emotions that you're weird. You know what I mean? Because they all walking around pretending like they don't feel angry, sad, depressed, that this is not abuse. They just walking around here like this is normal. And you as a kid know very well you ain't come to earth for this. You know very well God ain't sent you down here to live in this kind of abuse and struggle. So you confused. You just lost. Like, God, you sent me down. Earth is ghetto, God. You sent me down here for this. You just wondering what God sent you down here for as a kid. Was that only me and Erica? Because I feel like me and Erica is on the same page on that. Just confused. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And so as you become an adult, as you keep going, as you keep growing, you start to unpack some of this. You start to learn that, oh, wait, that was not normal. And I knew it wasn't from when I was a kid, but I have no choice because I was in them house. You know what I mean? So, you know, yeah, I feel you on that. Growing up seeing abuse within the family and hiding and masking emotions was huge. You know what I mean? But I am telling you that you don't have to mask and hide those emotions. You just need to be able to identify them within yourself and know what their strengths and their weaknesses are. All of your emotions, all of the things that you feel, all the things that you kind of sense, those things can help propel you or they can help stifle you. You just need to be able to identify what's happening when. Self-awareness, self-mastery. And there is nothing outside of you that can control you once you understand yourself. Know thyself. Know thyself. All right. So Erica Williams is saying, and then there was a huge explosions of feelings that came out with rage when it couldn't be suppressed any further. I feel you on that. I feel like the strongest driver of emotion, the strongest driver of action in a lot of our lives was anger from the family. So it wasn't happiness or it wasn't joy or bliss or thrill or even pleasure. A lot of the drivers of what our families did was rage and anger. And I think that's what happens when you are operating a lot in survival mode. And I feel like a lot of us, whether it, a lot of just people of color, a lot of our lives were in survival. Our families, our parents' lives were in survival mode. Just keep the children them fed, just keep, a roof, just keep the electricity and just get them to this public school. And let me get to these people that work, and that's it. You know what I mean? And so when you're operating in that kind of like, not thriving, but just surviving, I feel like anger and rage governs a lot of your behaviors. And I want you to understand that the other emotions that we have, I want you to understand that the other emotions that you have are just as valuable, if not more valuable than that anger and that rage and that trauma that usually drives us. And so you should be able to identify those other emotions, check them, ground them, and use them for their ultimate purpose. Those emotions are abundance. Those emotions are prosperity. Those emotions are wealth. And they're not to be masked and hidden and be embarrassed by or be ashamed of or be fearful of. They are actually your power. All right. Gems for your head top. All right, so what else we're saying here? Red Bouquet, Ada, finally catching you live. I have been watching the replay for the past few weeks. I appreciate you being a part of the replay gang, Ada. But finally, you got to catch us live, sis. I so appreciate you. And I feel like you caught a good one. I think we talking good tonight. I think we have a good topic tonight, sis. I'm so glad you're here. Erica Williams, and I'm seeing Lene put her hand up. I guess she's saying preach. I guess she's saying me too. And all of that. Let me take a sip of my little bourbon and my little tea, my little sweet tea. Southern girl in the building. A Georgia peach. I was gonna say a Florida orange. A Georgia peach in the building. Clink, 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 clink. Cheers. Unbothered. So how do we stay unbothered? How do we remain in control when they try to use fear, shame, judgment, all types of things to control us, to control our minds, control our bodies, to control our wombs? How do we remain unbothered and regain our control, our composure, and knowing that we are always the ultimate driver of our own lives, regardless of what it looks like? How do we regain that? Okay, so let's see what else we got on the notes here. All right, so the last thing we were talking about was calm and letting the dust settle. Let the dust settle. You see them kick up a storm. You see people kicking up a whole storm. You don't be in the middle of the storm like a Tasmanian devil thinking that you could sort out the storm. No. Let the dust settle. Let the dust settle. Step back. Fall back. Because sometimes things are worked out on your behalf. It's not everything you have to work out for yourself. You have to leave room for the divine, for God, for spirit, for your ancestors, for Jesus, Mohammed, who y'all want to call, for somebody, a higher power to work things out on your behalf. How do you do that? How do you let things be worked out on your behalf? Fall back. Let the dust settle. Sit back and play it cool, Lene says. Sit back and play it cool as a cucumber, even if it's just for an hour. Better yet, for a day. Better yet, for 2 days. You know what I mean? Let the dust settle. Let the dust settle. Regain your clarity, regain your composure, regain your harmony between your mind and your heart, between your emotions and your intentions. Let the dust settle, play it cool, and leave room for it to be worked out on your behalf. Here's the deal. Half the time when you think you working on something, when you hot, you mad, you know, they done got you out your character and you think you doing something, you're actually messing it up. You're actually making it worse. Because you operating from that place of anger, or you operating from that place of fear or scarcity, or, you know, reacting in a fight or flight survival mode thing, you think you doing something. You go, oh, they going, I'ma send this email. I'm gonna go protest. I'm gonna call somebody right now. I'm gonna do all of that. Yes, sometimes that works. Sometimes that works because that heat, that fire, that focus, that Knight of Wands energy, if you're into tarot, does help propel you. But sometimes if you're not clear on where you're going, you hit a mark, but you hit the wrong mark. You done hit the wrong mark. You was aiming over, you was thinking you was going here, you so hot, you done let go the bow and hit the wrong mark. You done hit the wrong mark. So just know that sometimes what you doing is messing stuff up. You gotta be doing it with clarity. So that might be play it cool. Play it cool. Don't let them know everything you're thinking. How about that? How about them apples? How about is you being quiet and not letting someone or some situation know how you really feel about the situation? How about that's you regaining your control as well? How about that's you remaining unbothered? You don't even know where I stand on the situation. How about that? How about them apples? Powerful, quiet, controlled, harmonized, focused, calm as your superpower, self-mastery, self-discipline, control. You don't know where I stand on the issue. Therefore, I retain my power. I retain my control. You know what I mean? As I figure out where I stand. I don't got to share that with you. Put your poker face on. I don't have to share that with you. You know what I mean? They don't know where you stand. They thinking they was about to control and manipulate you with laws. They were thinking they was about to control and manipulate you with pop culture, with media, social media, with, you know, moving your livelihood or inflation or, you know what I mean, somebody's passed away. They don't even know how you feel about the situation. Retain your composure. Put your poker face on. Keep it cool until you decide. Again, because that decision, your decision is where your power remains. So you want to get clarity to be able to make your decision. I hope y'all are enjoying tonight's live. I'm talking off the cup. Self-discipline is a big one, Erica says. Put your poker face on is a big one, Lene is saying, right? I hope you guys enjoying tonight's live. You know, we go live each and every Friday night, 7 p.m. to reconnect with the KELLS Collective and just like chill. It's already 8:08, guys. We already been on live for a whole hour, a whole 58 minutes and 12 seconds. Y'all, I actually have a baseball game to be at. I'm supposed to be at there at 7:20, but you know what? You guys are my priorities on Friday night, so I'd appreciate if you smash that like button. For the consistency, we are on to week 19. 19 weeks, it's the consistency for me. It's the dedication for me. It's the showing up and doing what I said I was about to do for me. What y'all think? What y'all think? Y'all let me know, okay? So, truth, justice. So, you know, these are big things that, you know, are thrown out a lot. But, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, especially if we're talking about this abortion legislation, if we're talking about this pro-life, pro-choice, trying to control women's bodies, trying to use government to control women's bodies. These people didn't even want to wear a mask. These people didn't even want to wear a mask on a plane. These people don't want to take a vaccine, but they want to control women's bodies through legislation from the Supreme Court. What kind of hypocrite and parasite? What kind of hypocrite and never, y'all. Now, see, now I'm getting hot. I'm gonna have to use my own tactics, because the way these people is carrying on like they actually have control over women's body is asinine to me. Asinine to me. You know what I mean? And so, we gonna be unbothered. We gonna remain unbothered, because at the end of the day, truth and justice is the way of nature on this plane. So it's gonna have to curve back. What's that quote Martin Luther King usually say? Martin Luther King have a quote, and he may have gotten it from like Nelson Mandela or somebody like that. But the quote is something like, the arc of justice is long, but it always bends towards truth. I believe that's the quote. Hanky, what's good? Hey, love, thanks for being here. The moral arc. Oh, I think it's the moral arc he talks about is long, but it always bends towards justice, or always bends towards truth. So you have to kind of remember that too, and set the intention for things to work out in an honorable way, right? Even in your individual life, and even on the greater scale, when we see things like, this legislation that these people are trying to push through. Okay. One thing I just want y'all to remember is, like, when you react too quickly, or you're like, I'm gonna go protest, or I'm gonna go do this, just be careful not to become fodder. What I mean by fodder is, like, sometimes when things are trying to be worked out, not everybody gonna make it there. Not everybody, some things become sacrifices for other things. And so you don't want to be the sacrifice. You just want to be on the other end, made it out. You know what I mean? So just, another reason why I'm saying, where I'm thinking like the control and the calmness and the clarity helps you make better decisions in these high intense situations. So you don't accidentally become fodder. You don't become the sacrifice. You don't become the statistic or the story, or the news story. Because they always looking for somebody who misstepped, and now they become the example. Now they become the one that everybody talk about and they read about. You don't necessarily want to be that. You don't necessarily want to be the fodder. You want to reap the benefit, but you don't want to be the sacrifice. So, that control, that self-mastery, that discipline, that clarity, that harmony of mind and heart will help you not to be the one that gets to end up being the storyline or the headline or the sacrifice, as we try to figure out, who's really in control here. You know what I mean? So don't get got. Don't get got. Cool, calm, and collected. Clarity otherwise. Otherwise, you are the part of the problem. We talked about that. And things are not. So also contrast. So we talk about this a lot. So sometimes when situations like this happen, where you're like, what the heck is this? This is ridiculous. Like, this doesn't even make any sense. A lot of times that contrast, that negative situation can give birth to a better situation or better perspective or better options. So sometimes it is necessary for people to try to impose some weird law against you, for us to norm into some new, something new or something better. You know what I mean? And so the contrast always gives birth to something better. You just have to intend it. So you have to be clear that that's what you're looking for. You know what I mean? So instead of being so focused on the issue and so focused on the problem, get clear on what you think you intend the solution to be. Whether it's better options, whether it's, better protection measures, like whatever, get clear on what you want the good part to come out of this, and not be so focused and upset and mad about the negative, right? Just be able to, bring some, what you want into the situation, as opposed to only looking at what you don't want. You know what I mean? You need both, and you need to start leaning more towards, okay, this is what I want. This is what I'd like to see, and working towards that, as opposed to pushing back against what you don't want or you don't want to see, right? Because if you're just focusing your energy on pushing back against what you don't want, you're actually just amplifying what you don't want, because any attention, good or bad, amplifies it. So if I don't like this and I do like this, you don't put so much attention on what you don't like. Identify it, but then switch to, okay, you know what? I don't want that. What I do want is this. What I'd like to see is this. This would work for me. I want to work towards this. That's what you need to focus more of your energy and your control on. You know what I mean? If you're trying to progress something that you know, dang, these people is out of line with their legislation. These people, this pop culture is out of line with these surgery and trying to force everybody to get a Brazilian butt lift. You know, this relationship coach is out of line with the way he talks about black women, or the way she talks about black men. You know what I mean? I don't like that. So what, instead of pushing back on that, what I'm gonna focus on is what I do like. What I'm gonna do is support who I do like. You know what I mean? And amplify that instead of adding the fuel to the fire of what I don't like by railing against. You know what I mean? And you outwit them. We outwitting the devil tonight. Y'all need to know that book, How to Outwit the Devil by Napoleon Hill. You know, some of the topics that we're talking about, you know, tonight has come up in that book. You guys know that book was written in like 1938, never released till like 2011. And it's a good book, you know what I mean? It is about self-mastery and some of the things that people use to try to manipulate and control, including fear, shame, guilt, and those are the things that they're trying to do to use to control women. And we over here unbothered. Clink, 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 clink. Cheers. So guys, that's pretty much what I have for tonight's topic. I might change the subject line on this, because right now it just says unbothered with this little emoji. But really what we're talking about is exactly what you guys voted for, which is why they use shame, guilt, and fear to control women. Why? And as I said at the top of the broadcast, quiet as it's kept, they use them same tactics to control men too. But they just have a tendency to be brazen with it when it comes to women. They're just out here making legislation on what we want to do with our bodies and won't wear a mask. The government asks them to wear a mask and get a vaccine, and oh, you're infringing on my personal rights. And then in the next breath, they're trying to put abortion legislation on a woman's whole uterus, her whole life, her whole health. Don't know what the situation is. Woman could have a whole ectopic pregnancy and need to get rid of the baby, you know, her life or the unborn fetus's life, and got to make those types of decisions. And they want to just tell you, no, you cannot make those decisions about your own health. Ridiculous. But won't wear a mask, but won't get a vaccine. You know what I mean? It's just hypocritical to me. But you know what? We're unbothered over here. We're cool, calm, and collected. We're going to decide the direction that we're going to go, and we're going to go in harmony and power towards that. And yeah, we're gonna have to figure it out, because you know, this illusion of control they trying to perpetrate against us is real. It gets tiring. It gets tiring. You know what I mean? And so I felt like, yeah, let's definitely talk about who's really in control here. Let's talk about who's really in control here. And if you can come to the conclusion that that illusion of that external control that they usually try to use to govern and all of that, it's just an illusion. And if you kind of have some of the tools to take back your control and regain clarity that you are always in control, you always have options, you always have the final say. You know what I mean? If we could get to that place, I think it's going to be a real empowered place, and it's better for us. You know what I mean? And the fact of the matter is, it's the truth. You know, you might have to come to it. You might have to recognize it in your own life and try to employ, you know, try to do some things that make it show itself to you in your own life. But ultimately, hopefully you do get to that place where you realize that I run this show. I'm the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. Me, no you. Not you, me. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to pop into the comments, see what you guys are talking about. And then I think that's going to be it for our Friday Night Kickback. I appreciate you guys so much. Smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Chime in the comments whether you're watching us live or watching on Replay Gang. Replay Gang is strong over here. So I appreciate you guys chiming in and letting me know your thoughts. We'll take a spin around the comments. And then that might be it for our Friday Night Kickback. Unless there's anything else y'all want to talk about real quick, put it in the comments. Let me know what you guys want to get into. Let me know your thoughts on tonight's topic, how we remain unbothered as these people try to shame and guilt and control us. We're unbothered over here. You know what I mean? So yeah, let me take a spin around the comments. And yeah, then we'll call it a night. Okay, so like I said, because we have more power than they think we should. They really, it's when the power comes back to the people, the people in power get shook. They get shook when they know when we know that actually I decide. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. And I have not only do I think that, but I have the tools to prove that. You know what I mean? People in power get shook because they used to the old paradigm. They used to how things used to be. You know what I mean? And things are not that way anymore. You know what I mean? And so it's just new day. You know what I mean? So Carmel King is saying, I don't know. Oh, Jewel, was she y'all bringing me news from a whole bunch of other places. But yeah, so many people have been passing away. Y'all see this? We hit 1 million people passed away from COVID, according to the statistics. And then everybody else is just like kicking the bucket. It's real. Things are, I think I saw one of my favorite YouTubers who's been on YouTube for a long time, Ralph Smart from Infinite Waters. The peace, infinite waters flowing deep or whatever, breathing in that good ass prana. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him, but he was talking about today is like tomorrow's not promised. Tomorrow's not promised, and this is a real thing. You know what I mean? And so I think that's why some of the stuff that we talk about on this channel is really trying to empower and put us in a good place of positivity and upliftment, because the time we have here, the days are numbered. You know what I mean? These days are numbered, and we might as well live it out in a way that feels the best that it can feel, the best that it can be. You know what I mean? And so yeah, these days, boy, people dropping out. You know what I mean? People is dropping out left, right, and center. But as long as we here, as long as we have breath, as long as we have breath in our bodies, as long as we are here, we have something more to do. So let's do it together. It's the collective wisdom of the KELLS community over here. I do these videos so you're not out here alone in this sometimes crazy dating, living, loving world. If this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribed. I invite you to subscribe. And if you're an oldie but a goodie, good looking out, replay gang, what's up? Thank you guys so much for joining our live. Smash that like button if you are liking what you're hearing and what you are seeing. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Catch you guys again next week, 7 p.m. Friday for week 20. I might have to do something special for 20 consecutive weeks going live. Y'all let me know what you would like to see. If y'all want me to do an interview, y'all want me to collab with anybody, let me know. I'm always here for it. Drop in my DMs on Instagram or here in the community tab on YouTube and let me know what you. I appreciate you guys so much for joining us. Peace to those, rest in peace to those who have passed away. Death is not a punishment. So, their time was just up. You know what I mean? But since we still here, we gonna make it do what it do, baby. We gonna continue to do it each and every Friday night. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for joining. Goodbye, guys.